Happy New Year to everyone. Welcome to DC Multiverse. I'm your host, Tyrus. It is 2023, y'all. Yeah, we made it. It is here. And I just want to wish you all a happy, peaceful, joyous, prosperous new year. And I'm excited, y'all. I'm excited to be sharing yet another year with you all. This is a new year of new beginnings, new possibilities for us all. But before I go any further, just wanted to take the time to thank everybody that supported DC Multiverse. I thank you, and I truly appreciate you. You know, whether you've been supporting the channel from the beginning or whether you just jumped on recently, I just want to say thank you. For those of you who are not only watching the videos and hitting the like button, but you're commenting below and creating such a wonderful, peaceful, beautiful environment within DC Multiverse. I appreciate you. So I just want to thank you all. But when I started this channel, you know, my mission and my goal was to share my joy of these things with you all. If I can provide some sort of joy and relief to someone who's watching these videos, then my job is done. But I just wanted to take the time to thank you all for the support. You know, I know there are a lot of other channels out there doing their thing, but y'all make sure y'all stay tuned to DC Multiverse because we got a lot of exciting content coming up for 2023. This episode here is going to be huge, y'all. We're going to kick this year off right with a Mcfarlane Toys DC Multiverse top, not 10, not 15, but a 20 figures of 2022, y'all. I tried to keep this thing down. First I did 10, that didn't work. Then I did 15, that didn't work. So I narrowed it down to 20. So I got 20 figures, folks. And a few disclaimers. One, no Batman. There's no Batman figures in this list. And because if I did Batman, if I had Batman, I would have had maybe like 5 or 6 Batmans. And it would have taken away from some of the other figures that I didn't want to take away from. So no Batman figures, no Mega figures, and no Builder figures. So with that being said, I'm going to have a separate video with my top 10 Batman figures of 2022 that will come right after this video. Then I have a top 5 Mega figures, and I have a top 5 Builder figures as well for the Mcfarlane DC Multiverse brand. So stay tuned for all those videos, folks. If you like Mcfarlane Toys, you don't want to miss these next few videos. You don't want to miss none of these videos, folks. They got a lot of best of videos coming up. This episode is going to be huge. Y'all know Mcfarlane Toys is my jam. It, for me, is the best action figure line to date. Then you got Masterverse right behind it. But Mcfarlane Toys, so versatile. You not only get, you know, excellent action figures, but you get mega figures as well. We're getting vehicles. We're getting small little dioramas with our 2-packs as well. So very versatile line, and you're getting all this for a very feasible price in the midst of an era where prices are going up. We still get Mcfarlane Toys with, you know, prices that are very feasible, and I truly appreciate that. And this countdown video, I feel, really represents that. And all right, y'all, it's time. We're gonna kick this year off right with a top 20 Mcfarlane Toys DC Multiverse figures of 2022. Gear up, get ready, because we finna go. Let's get to it. All right, at number 20, I have the endless winner Aquaman, side eye and all. I would have had this guy a little higher if he did not have the side eye. I still love this Aquaman. He looks super classic, even though he has the beard and the long hair. Hopefully in 2023, we will get a more classic looking Aquaman. We're almost there with the short hair and no beard, but I still love this Aquaman, and I got him at number 20. All right, up next, I have the Page Puncher Green Arrow, aka the Mcfarlane Toys Injustice 2 version of the Green Arrow. No, this is not the classic Green Arrow that I'm still holding out hope for, and I'm really hoping and wishing that at some point Mcfarlane will give us, hopefully in 2023. However, you know, I really like this Green Arrow. You know, I like it better than the standard Injustice version that I actually reviewed. You know, I love that classic Robin Hood hat that he's rocking. I'm glad that they added that to this version of the Green Arrow. It harkens back to the Green Arrow that I really hope to get in that classic Green Arrow. You know, I love the textured detail of the pants for his costume. I like how they handle the face mask for this figure here. We don't have the side-eye action going with this Green Arrow, which is a good thing. Now, the accessories for this particular figure is still lacking in detail and attention. When you look at those molded together arrows, then there's his bow that is lacking not only in detail but in scale. I feel like his bow needs to be a little larger. Overall, I really think this is still a really cool figure. There's just no way I could have left this figure off the list. You know, as Green Arrow is hands down one of my all-time favorite DC characters behind the Batman and the Martian Manhunter. I have Oliver Queen, aka the Green Arrow, at the number 19 spot. At number 18, I have the Master Assassin, the Jack of all trades, Deathstroke. Now, I recently reviewed this guy, very impressed with this figure, even though he was missing some elements that was clearly seen on the packaging for the figure. You know, I still like him, very sleek looking figure. Definitely check out my review for this guy. It is up on the channel, but I have Deathstroke at number 18. And up next, we're going to be tapping into the Speed Force because I have the Rebirth Wally West Flash. Oh, I love this figure right here, y'all. I didn't get a chance to review this guy, but I really appreciate what Mcfarlane did with Wally West. I love the sculpt, the detail on his hair, his costume, the colors, everything really harmonizes and work well together. I love the silver highlights throughout his costume, the belt, the boots, the effects that you attach to him really bring this character to life. I always liked and appreciated the Wally West character. He took over as the Flash for some time in the comics, but I really like him, and he's one of my most favorite DC Multiverse figures, and I have Wally West at number 17. All right, and up next, I have the Deathstorm character, and I feel like this character should be a little higher, but there are just so many other ones that are great as well, but I had to have this one on the list here. The detail, folks, throughout this figure is absolutely incredible. You know, I'm not big on the undead super horror characters, but I really appreciate that Atrocitus Build-A-Figure wave, and I appreciate what Mcfarlane did with this figure here. The translucent, fiery hair is just absolutely impeccable. I just love it. The detail, the look of this character screams horror, darkness, and it really harkens back to the Blackest Night story arc, which is one of the biggest DC stories of all time within the DC universe. Hopefully we'll see that in live action. Another reason why I got this figure on my list too is because hopefully this means we get a Firestorm in the near future. So hopefully in 2023 we get a Firestorm, but this Deathstorm character looks incredible, folks. Uh-oh, it's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's the black suited Superman from the Lois and Clark comic book at the number 15 spot. Oh, I love this one right here, folks. Decked out in all black with the silver highlights through his costume. The Man of Steel looks really awesome. I love it. He's rocking the S-curl. He has that serious, hopeful, yet heroic look to him. I love that as well. This is that 90s Superman from the classic DC universe who faced down Doomsday back in the day and apparently supposedly died. But this Superman, as well as Lois and his son, were dropped in the New 52 universe, where he kind of laid low up until that universe of Superman died, and he took over the mantle as the Man of Steel. You know, anytime you talk about a black suited Superman, you're thinking automatically the death of Superman, and that was so huge for me as a fan of the character. And as a fan of the DC universe, the whole world took notice of that. Even if they weren't comic book collectors or didn't follow this stuff, everyone knew about the death of Superman. So whenever you see this costume, I don't relate this to the Lois and Clark comic, which it is based off of. I relate this to the death and return of Superman. You add the mullet and maybe the silver rings around the wrist areas, and you have the 90s, you know, classic return of Superman figure. Will we get that in 2023? Who knows? This guy looks like Superman. He looks like he's ready to save the day, whether he's rocking the black and silver or the red and blue. And I got this guy at the number 15 spot. Up next, I have actually two figures for this number 14 spot. And that is the Three Jokers Batgirl, as well as the Three Jokers Red Hood from that Bat Family 5-pack, which was an Amazon exclusive. You know, I really like both of these figures, and I could not leave these off. You know, Batgirl, one of my all-time favorite Bat Family members. You know, I really like how they handled this figure overall, even an initial version. But this version I really like. I like the darker paint deco that's utilized for a costume. I like the more metallic gold paint deco that's utilized throughout her costume as well. Even though she's rocking a side-eye, I really feel the side-eye works for her figure, and I had to include her with this pick from this set here. Now up next I have the Jason Todd Red Hood figure from this set as well. Now I had like so many Red Hood figures to choose from, as Mcfarlane Toys provided us tons of awesome Red Hood figures. Actually, this pick here replaced the Arkham Knight Red Hood that I had in this spot. I mean, there are just so many Red Hoods that Mcfarlane provided us with that are just so awesome, man. But I just could not leave this one out. I like this version that they provided with this special gold label. Now, with this particular Jason Todd Red Hood figure, we're given two options. We're given the classic Jason Todd face sculpt with that classic Robin mask, which looks so cool. Looks like you just pulled this figure right out of the Three Jokers comic. And then on top of that, we're given a swappable head, which is the Red Hood, you know, mask for this figure here as well. So I like the versatility that this figure gives you in terms of providing you with the, you know, unmasked Jason Todd with the Robin mask that you can put to the figure, or you can swap that out with more of that battle damage Red Hood face sculpt. Either way, you really can't lose. Love this figure. Love the Batgirl figure as well. And I got them both at the number 14 spot. Up next, you better hide your jewelry or anything of any value, because I have the Arkham City Catwoman. This sleek, highly articulated action figure here with the bowler whip and all had to be a part of my top 20 of 2022. I recently reviewed this figure as a part of the Arkham City Build-A-Figure wave. So if you have not checked it out, be sure to check it out. It is up on the channel, but I got Catwoman at number 13. Up next, lurking in the shadows of Gotham City, there are whispers all around about this secret organization known as the Court of Owls. I have the Talon as a part of my top 20 of 2022, equipped with dual blades and swords. I recently reviewed this action figure. It is up on the channel right now, but I have the Talon from the Court of Owls at the number 12 spot. Up next is an action figure that I feel like many DC collectors all celebrated when he was announced, and that is the one and only Page Puncher Black Adam figure with the dual lightning effects and that signature Mcfarlane Toys detail and design. This action figure was finally brought to life in the way that I feel like many of us had wanted to see with Black Adam. And initially, I thought I'd have this guy higher, but with all of the other figures that I have as a part of this top 20, he sits at number 11. All right, folks, we are down to 10 more of my top 20 of 2022 picks. Who could be at that number 1 spot? You got to stick around to find out, because I feel it's going to be a good one. All right, folks, at the number 10 spot, I have the Demon, the one and only Ra's al Ghul. You know, as a collector, he is most definitely one of those figures that I definitely want to have as a part of my DC Multiverse collection. And to finally have Ra's al Ghul is a huge plus for me as a fan. And Mcfarlane overall did not disappoint. Equipped with this impressive looking blade and all, I have one of Batman's most notorious villains at the number 10 spot. Shazam! Yeah, you know this guy had to be on the list. If you follow this channel, you know I've been asking for a Shazam action figure, and I got him. He's here. He was one of the hardest action figures to get this year. I had to go the eBay route, but I got him, folks. Definitely check out my review on this guy, but there is no doubt and there is no way in the world that Shazam would not be on my top 20 for 2022. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that had I been given more of a classic look at Shazam, that this guy would rate a little higher than he is right now. But in all, really happy to finally have a Shazam as a part of my DC Multiverse collection. Still loving this figure. I do have a review up on the channel for this guy here, so definitely check it out if you haven't done so already. But I have my main man Shazam at the number 9 spot. Up next, you better watch out for this guy because he's always up to something. He's always got something up his sleeve, and it is the one and only Page Puncher Constantine. Now, when this guy was revealed, I was through the roof with excitement. Really couldn't believe that Mcfarlane was finally giving us a Constantine figure. So this also points more towards that Justice League Dark team that he continues to build with these figures here, equipped with an impressive magical effect as well as a book of dark magic. This highly detailed action figure served as a huge part of my DC Multiverse collection, and I got good old Constantine at the number 8 spot. Now, when this character came onto the scene, he was thought to be a villain of the Bat, but he turned out to be one of the Bat's biggest allies who has a lot of history with Bruce Wayne, and that is the Ghostmaker. I was extremely impressed with this figure when I saw him in the comics, continue to read up on this guy, and then to find that we were getting him in the DC Multiverse line was a huge deal for me as a fan. So there was just no doubt in my mind that this figure would make my top 20 list or whatever list I was going to make. He was going to be on it. When I got him in hand, was extremely impressed as well with dual blades and that signature Mcfarlane Toys detail. This figure was a huge plus and addition to my DC Multiverse line. So I have the Ghostmaker at the number 7 spot. Up next, we got the mysterious one known as Grifter. Yet another huge, and I mean huge character to have as a part of my collection. Love the Grifter character in those Wildstorm comics as a part of that Jim Lee team. And then now to see him implemented within the DC universe is a huge deal for me. He has been implemented somewhat into the Bat family as well. He's gone toe to toe with the Batman during the Joker War. Even though he doesn't come with any gun weapons, you can equip him with guns. He does come with an impressive and a highly detailed katana and a Rambo blade. This character here aesthetically is one of Mcfarlane Toys' best to me, and I got the Grifter character at the number 6 spot. All right, y'all, we winding it down. We are down to 5. We got my top 5 DC Multiverse figures coming at you, so get ready, folks. We're getting down to the number 1 spot. All right, folks, at the number 5 spot, I have the artist formerly known as Kyle Reiner. Oh, this guy was a must as a part of this list here. You know, I like the fact that Mcfarlane Toys, we got that initial Kyle Reiner as a part of that Triceps Build-A-Figure wave, but Mcfarlane came right back with the Kyle Reiner that we all wanted, and that's that classic 90s Kyle Reiner. If Mcfarlane would just stay the course with those 90s versions of those characters, I tell you, I think it sells with quadruple more than they already are. But man, to get this classic Kyle Reiner was a big deal for me. I love the character. Again, he was an artist. He's a Green Lantern, and I just love his personality. I love his swag, and I got Kyle Reiner at the number 5 spot. At the number 4 spot, I have the Blue Beetle and Booster Gold pack. These two had to come together. They go together like ham and cheese, like peanut butter and jelly. They're the best of buddies. I love these two characters. Not a big Booster Gold fan, but I really like him. I've been reading up on him more recently, and I found that he's not the goofball that he seeks to portray, and he does that purposely. So I appreciate that Booster Gold character a little bit more now, folks. He's pretty cool. But the Blue Beetle character was the draw for me. Blue Beetle is one of my all-time favorite DC characters, and for Mcfarlane Toys to say, yeah, y'all won't get a Blue Beetle character and a Booster Gold. So to have Blue Beetle, one of the greatest tech guys in the DC universe, as a part of my collection is a big deal for me. So I got the Blue Beetle and Booster Gold 2-pack at the number 4 spot. All right, folks, at the number 3 spot, I have my main man, John Jones, the classic Martian Manhunter. Oh, man, I love Martian Manhunter, folks. He's right there behind Batman, one of my all-time favorite superheroes. period of all time. This guy has 5,000 different powers and all, but I love John Jones. I was really happy to see that Mcfarlane Toys came back with a more classic version of Martian Manhunter. I like that rebirth version, don't get me wrong. So I have the Last Son of Mars at the number 3 spot. All right, folks, we're down to two. What could it be? Who could it be? You finna find out right now. All right, at the number 2 spot, I have the gone crazy out his mind Parallax Gold Label Hal Jordan, one of the hardest figures to find in all of Mcfarlane Toys in 2022. This figure was hard. It was difficult to get a hold of this guy. I lucked out getting him at Walmart, then didn't see him again at all, but finally got a hold of this guy. I'm loving him. I do have a review up on the channel for this guy, but man, I tell you, to get a Hal Jordan like this in the line was yet another one of those big deals for me as a fan. I love that story of Hal Jordan pretty much losing his mind and killing pretty much everybody in the Green Lantern Corps. It was a sad story. It was crazy. But the fact that we were getting this type of character in the line, even though the colors of the hair is a bit off, it definitely doesn't take away from everything that this character brings to the table. The energy effects. So impressed with the energy effects from this figure here. Hope to see more of this from our Green Lantern figures. The Lantern, all of that really adds to what this character is and what he represents. And that is a major threat to not only the Green Lantern Corps, but the DC Universe. But I have the Gold Label Parallax Hal Jordan at the number 2 spot. All right, y'all, we're here. We made it. It's been a long journey, but we made it. We got through 19 of my top 20 of 22. Now we're at the number 1 spot. This list was hard, folks. It was difficult to put this list together. I had to leave off some people. I had to put some people farther down than I wanted to. I didn't think this guy would be at the number 1 spot, but when I got him, I was like, okay, yeah, this is it right here. This is it. And that is the Mcfarlane Toys Gold Label Hush Superman action figure. So I got Angry Superman at the number 1 spot for my top 20 of 2022 without Batman. So if I had Batman, I think a Batman figure would be at the top of this list. But I got the Hush Superman, folks. And I tell you, I reviewed this guy here, and I was just so impressed with how classic this character looked. The colors, everything works. The only thing that we need from this figure here, folks, is a not so angry face, and we need for him to scale just a little taller, and we'll have the perfect Superman. You know, we got the yellow emblem, folks. The yellow emblem. Nobody seems to want to do that, but that for me is a must for a Superman character, along with the S curl. But the yellow emblem, that just won me over, folks. The colors, everything, it works in harmony. Everything is just there for the Superman. So I have the angry, even though he's angry and he wants to take down Batman, I have the angry Superman Hush figure at number 1 spot. Now, I will say this. If I had a Batman in this list, the Batman would be at the number 1 spot. And you'll find out about my top 10 Batman figures of 2022 shortly, because that's coming up after this video. But I have the Superman Hush at the number 1 spot, folks. All right, folks, before I get out of here, I have a few honorable mentions. And even beyond these figures that I'm going to mention, there are others that really also deserve to be on this list as well. They just got, really, edged out, with the figures that actually made it. But man, Mcfarlane has really put out some incredible figures, over the years. This was a hard list, man. There were just so many figures that he's put out that are just so awesome. But I most definitely wanted to shout out these figures here in the form of the Page Puncher Superman. Again, I went back and forth between this Page Puncher Superman and that black suited Lois and Clark Superman. The Lois and Clark Superman won out. I had a blast reviewing this character. And then I also have the Speed Metal Jay Garrett Flash. I had to show some love to this character as well. When we get that classic Jay Garrett, though, That's definitely going to be at the top of my list in 2023, so stay tuned for that. I also have the Ocean Master Gold Label figure as a part of my honorable mentions list. And up next, I have the hooded movie Black Adam from that Black Adam film. Definitely one of McFarlane's best from this year. I just could not squeeze them into the list. I had them there, but there's some other figures that I just had to place in his spot. Phenomenal figure. Up next, I have General Zod, the Man of Steel's villain. He was actually on this list, and at the last minute, I replaced him. This was an incredible figure, I feel. You get another Rogues for the Superman, character. So, again, I really appreciate, McFarlane for giving us this General Zod. And then I have the Arkham Knight Red Hood figure. This is one figure also that was on my list, and at the last minute, I switched it up with the Jason Todd Red Hood and the Batgirl pick that I had. So incredible figure as well. And then lastly, I have the Arkham Knight figure. And this is yet another one, man, that I really wish that I could have added to the list. Even though he's missing some of the elements that we've seen in that Arkham Knight, from the Arkham Knight game, this is still an awesome figure, man. Overall, man, he comes with that cool grapple gun, and then he also comes with those Gauss grenades. Most definitely wanted to show some love to the Arkham Knight figure. So those are my honorable mentions. But folks, thank you so much for tuning in and bearing with me with this top 20 of 2022. It was a long list, but it was a lot of fun. But it was a very difficult list to put together, folks. Even with me omitting the Batman and the Mega figures, this was a hard list to put together. Stay tuned for more McFarlane Toys best of videos. Up next, I have my top 10 McFarlane Toys Batman figures of 2022. So definitely stay tuned for that one. That one is coming up, folks. But again, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to comment below. Share your thoughts in regards to what you think about this list I put together. Is it similar to what you do? Is it completely different? Definitely share with me your top figures from McFarlane Toys. It could be your top 5, your top 10, your top 20, your top 30, whatever. Share in the comments what your top figures are, what your thoughts are on all of this, folks. So be sure to do that. Also, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, folks. Ring that bell for all notifications. And until next time, be good to one another. Be safe. Stay tuned. And I will be talking to y'all very soon. Stay tuned, folks. All right. Bye for now.